Hi guys. Sorry, I just realised how long this bloody video is, so I'm going to try to be a bit faster. I can obviously talk underwater, so I'll try and speed up a bit so you're not watching the video, for a friggin' hour and a half on how to use Actionstep. But let's just get back into it. So what I'm going to go into next is how to create an intake or how to do an intake in Actionstep. So I'm going to go up here to the plus button, and here we've got matters. Now, you can, when we go into that, I'll show you, you can see here all the different kind of areas of law, a matter type. These kind of grey ones here, don't stress too much about there. We're just where we're going to store the documents for the files. And here you can see the different kind of areas of law, the ones that we kind of have as like matter types. And under that, you'll see intake is one of the particular matter types. So when we create intake, what we're kind of essentially doing is making a separate file or an intake file for the client. So I can go into intake here. And what we do, this is essentially the intake. Oh, sorry, no, I don't call it the client name because we don't necessarily know the client yet. We just call it intake. You can skip all of this. This will automatically assign to the volunteer and the date will be here. You just pop your name in here. So, I'll just chuck my name in. I put where the client lived. Our suburbs are at the top, but I can also start typing. North Melbourne's probably not the best one to start typing. Just select it from here. But if I started typing, I could find it from the drop-down list. This has just got all the suburbs in Melbourne or all the towns as well. You can say no to work. We've kind of changed up the order, not the order, but the kind of the phrasing of some of the questions. But the reason I changed it was I'm trying to change it to the way that people actually speak to the client. So hopefully this will actually work towards what, how you speak to the client anyway. So this person doesn't work or study. So I'm going to skip those two questions. They're on Centrelink. They have no other income. Housing type is public, and doesn't own any property. And then I just pop in the area of law here. So what kind of matter will we do? We'll do a criminal law. You can skip this. This comes up for every time you create a matter or any time you move through a step, so just ignore that. I'm going to create a matter here. Now down the bottom here, it'll say that I've created the matter. So I go to edit. It doesn't automatically take you into a matter. It will save the screen that you're on and then you click in and say that you want to go in there. So you can see here we don't have a client attached, and that's on purpose for an intake matter. We don't necessarily want to have a client attached because if this client doesn't attend or this intake doesn't attend, then we don't want the client in our system. And we're going to continue doing that. We don't add clients into our system until they've attended because it's not a conflict if we don't have any details on them. So that's a specific, there's a specific reason for that. Now I can see here I'm at eligibility, which I've completed. It seems like this client's pretty eligible. So I'm going to move on to client details. But if the client wasn't eligible, I could go across to steps here and I could make the referral. So I don't have to ask client details. I'm going to skip to referral. But this client is eligible, so I'm going to move on to client details. Now, just try to fill this out as least as possible. The biggest difference here is your referral from is going to be first. So you have to ask that first. Now, the C flag starts in there. Well, that's kind of a disaster. I'll add them. What about common ground? All right, I'm just going to say this client was referred from common ground. I'm just leaving a note for myself to add Flagstaff. Probably our biggest referrer who I haven't put in. Client name, we just add in the client name like we would now. We grab these details. It's pretty much the same. You have to say whether it's safe to contact and you have to answer whether they've been to IMCL before and you have to put in another party. But for everything else, it's just you guys get taught how to fill out an intake and so you are going to fill this out correctly. CLC, I could actually select two if I want to just hit control and select, but not currently acting, so I'm going to skip that. Now I'm going to change step again, and what this will do is it'll bring up a number of options for me. So I said that Nate needed help with a criminal matter, so I select criminal. And in here, I can fill out my criminal matter details. So that green sheet that we have with those questions on it, you don't need to refer to that anymore. It's going to be right here. So I just complete these details. So I would complete these for Nate. And then I hit change step again. And say if Nate had 2 matters he wanted help with, I could select the next one from here. But he's only got the criminal matter, so I'm going to go to appointment because I'm going to book Nate in now. So I've moved through those stages of the intake, so the eligibility, the client details, the area of law. So we essentially break down our intakes into those 3 sections. Now what I do is once I've found the appointment time in the diary, so I go back to my Outlook as we normally do, I enter when I've booked Nate in, and I say the clinic I've booked him in. That that's just kind of a reminder for you. You don't necessarily need to tick it because you're going to say that you did. So then any other relevant notes here, I'm just going to leave that blank, and I'm going to put down that Wallace supervised me on that one. So I'm going to hit change step. Now that's an intake done. So it's sitting at appointment stage, which is perfect because Nate's appointment is on Friday. We're going to leave it at appointment stage. I could go to referral if I wanted to, but I'm not making a referral, I'm leaving it at appointment. And it's pretty important that when you do an intake, you leave it at appointment stage. And the reason for this is if you go up to the matters list up the top here, so next to home, you'll see matters. You can see here a few different live reports. So what they do is they update depending on what kind of information you're entering into matters. Now you can see here under intake, this is going to be really useful for you guys. So you've got the appointments, you've got ones that are pending, and you've got the ones that didn't attend, which is DNA, or you've got your referrals. Now, if I go to appointments, and let's all cross our fingers. Yeah, perfect. I can see here that Nate Dog is on that list. I'm going to just jump really quickly back out of that list because I realise that there's some client names on it. I'll blur them out. So sorry about that. But you can see that you could say that Nate was on that list. You can see here if we go into pending, I'll see if there's any pending. Oh, okay, perfect. So Wallace has put one in pending for herself. I don't know what she needs legal advice for, but we'll probably be confident out, I imagine. If anything is stopped at the stage before appointment or referral, it'll go into pending. So if the client can't give you all the details, it's probably a really good idea to put in their first and surname if you can. Otherwise, you're going to struggle finding it. But you can see here I've got 2 pending intakes, so they're the ones that haven't been at appointment stage yet. Now it's important to note that pending intakes will only sit there for 90 days. Anything older will just get kind of closed out of the system, and you just need to do another intake if that client called back. Did not attend, that's kind of the same deal. So Mike D and Lauren Hill both missed their appointments on Friday. So what we would do if Lauren called back, we could go in and rebook her appointment from there. So I just click into the matter and I'd go to appointment. I'd go to intake data here, and I would. Sorry, I just put all of the details in here, but this one's really, so I would just edit the appointment date and rebook it. So that's how I'd redo that. I'm going to cancel that because I don't want her to show up. But you could rebook the appointment from here. Did not attend, again, I'm only sitting here for 90 days. Anything older than that, we'll do another intake because it's probably out of date if they're calling past even 60 days, I reckon. So in referrals here, you can see that lovely, beautiful work by Beck and Wallace today. They've started logging the referrals they've made. So they've made one to Legal Help, Law Institute and Refugee Legal. So that's some pretty solid referrals. And, you know, you can see here why they did it. I'll just check what happened there. But, you know, don't practice area of law, not in catchment area, all perfect. So that's the intakes. I think it's pretty straightforward, but will be hanging right over your shoulder. So don't stress if you're, you know, a little bit kind of confused by the process. It is just working through the steps, and I think you guys will kind of get used to it from there. So I'm going to, actually, I'm not, because I don't think you guys, oh, no, I will. If you go to File Management and All Open Matters, you can see here, sorry, this is my open matters, so this is one's assigned to me. Sorry, if I go to All Open Matters, I can see here these are all open matters. So there's lots of kind of different matters in here. And what I can do is I can hit a filter and I can show available filters, and I can do something like assign to, and then I can select who I want to see the files for. So that's going to be useful if you're, you know, assisting a lawyer. You can open up their file list from there. So I'm going to leave it there with my action step training, because I am aware that I've probably taken a little bit long at the moment. So I'm going to wrap it up, and then if you guys have any questions at all, please come to me. I will let you know that there's a few little things that we're working on. So obviously that calendar integration that I talked about and the updating the emails. We're going to keep working on coding templates, and we're going to work on a way to do family violence file notes in intakes. That's the duty lawyer ones. But at the moment, because that system kind of works, and it'll be, it needs to be pretty much perfect before we change that system, because you know, you're at court, it's quite stressful, and any of the volunteers who've headed down will know that you don't have time to be messing around in the computer without it kind of working. So we're just going to make sure it works before we introduce anything new there. One other thing that we're going to install is an extra program or a bit of software called Zapier. And what that'll do is when you enter a file note, so like I've got one now and I just do my little phone message and I fill that out, what I'll do is I'll put message for, and then if I do like at Jess, what that'll do is once I've added that at Jess, it'll actually send Jess an email. So that's going to make file noting a lot easier. And that should be introduced hopefully within the next week or so, and I'll let you know when that comes in. That's what we're working on next, but I'm going to finish the video here, and any questions at all, come and let me know. Thanks guys, bye.